This conference will now be recorded.
Great. I think the last 10 minutes or something, my voice was off. So that's fine. I'll just repeat what we have learned last class because that's very important. It's almost the final end of trying to understand how to crack the password for SSH and FTP. So yesterday, what we learned is I have just created a folder over here, Batman, sorry, password. And when I clicked on password, we understood how to do QL method, crunch method, cup text. We also could create a customized word list of our own choice. So that's what we did. This is users.text. What I did is there was so many users.text. Okay, I just changed it, just put some three names just to make sure the it gets faster. But I can put anything: Batman, I can put Superman, I can put Vijay, I can put Dhruv, I can put Abhishek. I can put any names because I'm just trying to guess. This could be the names of the usernames. Maybe same thing. I will put it for the password again, customized list. So pas dot text. Okay, I'll just put the same thing. It could be a little bit more, but I don't want to waste so much of time. So what has happened is now we got with a lot of survey, a lot of research, we got some users, we got some pass. Now I need to bring the users and pass text together and start comparing. What is it? It will compare. It will compare this word FTP with this text with MSF admin, Batman, Superman, Vijay, Dhruv, Abhishek, FTP, root, and check if the username and password is matching. Next, if it is not matching, then what happens? It goes to users again, select the word root, and then again it will go to pass.text and it starts scanning for each and everything. Okay, and that is called as Hydra. Now, how is it benefit to us is, see, one thing I will tell you is, if we do it manually, if for example you want to crack any other site, 3 to 5 times is what the limit will be given to you, and after fifth one your account can get locked. So there's a tool which I was talking about is Hydra, which will do without touching the website, without touching the any port, it will try to compare by itself, and that is called as Hydra, my friends. Okay, so that is what yesterday we were trying to understand what exactly is this Hydra. It's already part of Kali Linux. It's pre-installed in Kali Linux. It is used to do brute forcing usernames and password on different services like FTP, SSH, Telnet, MySQL, etc. Okay, brute force can be used to try different usernames and password again to target against a target to identify the correct credentials. It's a very fast, flexible, and easy to update. The tools makes it possible for researchers and security consultant to show how easy it would gain unauthorized to the system remotely. So for that, the syntax is again just type Hydra. So if I go here and clear everything, just type Hydra. Yeah, this is it. It's a version 9.1 which I'm using, and these are all nothing but some syntaxes which we can use and bring that username and password together and scan. How do you scan it? Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. So for me to access FTP, we need to crack it. We need to find the username, we need to find the password. How do we find it? So I'm going to use Hydra. L is for the list. This is the username text file. P for password. This is the password text file. And the FTP 192.168.0.138. But I need to check what is the IF config of that particular metasploitable machine. I mean, yesterday I was in a different place. So today I'm in my office. So it is 192.168.1.217. Okay. What is this? I hope I'm in the same network. Okay, 207. So that means 1.207, and the file name is p, small p, and here also it is users and small u. Copy this and paste it here. Control Shift V and enter. Okay, so that means users. Okay, there's a mistake over here. Why there's a mistake over here is, see, understand, users.txt and pass.txt, both of them are in the desktop, but I am trying to use it in root, which is wrong. So I need to change it to cd desktop. Now I will run that command and enter. All the green one are actually the login and the password. Okay, Control Z. So there are so many logins, there are so many password for it. One of it I can take is MSF admin and MSF admin. I can take this, or I can take FTP and MSF admin. So username and password. So now I will go here, type FTP 192.168.1.207 and I enter. It is asking for name. I'll type MSF admin. It is asking for password MSFADMIN. All right, and I am in FTP folder. I type ls. It tells me I have a file which is called as vulnerable under FTP. Now let me go and check if that file is there in my Metasploitable machine. I will just type ls. There you go. I have a file called vulnerable. Now I can create file from my Kali Linux. How? See, mkdir Vijay through 3 file folders I will create. Abhi. Okay. Now let me go check here. ls. See, Vijay. I created a file. Now I can remove the file from my system. rmdir Vijay. Now let me go back to my Metasploitable, type ls. See, from my machine, I was able to handle this machine by cracking the username and password. So now I am successfully entered inside the window. Right, beginning I understood what house should I hack, then which door to knock, then based on the results I need to check the side windows, then under the windows I need to know what username and password. I could collect the password, I can use Hydra. Now my one more leg is inside the window completely. I got a hold of FTP by cracking the username and password. Same thing. Okay, let's go some more. This is a syntax. If you have time, just go through it. Now say I do not have any word list. Okay, so scenario 1, I do not have any word list. Hope you're able to see the notepad. Okay, say for example, I do not have any word list. I just want to try one word, that is username as FTP, password also FTP. So I don't have any text file. Do not have any text file. I have only these two. I just want to try it out. Okay, you can do that over here. Hydra small l user. Okay, you can remove this. Just type FTP. Password also -p FTP. That's all. I just want to try only for this one particular one. 1.207. Copy this and go here. File new. Control Shift V and enter. There you go. There is a password and a username as everywhere, but I didn't have to go through the entire text file. I just tried to use only one word. So maybe one more time I can just go here. here. Instead of FTP, maybe I will put MSF admin. Enter. That also is correct. FTP, MSF admin. So I just trying to use one or two words. Scenario 2, I do not have any password word list. I have only username word list. Then what I will do, there's a syntax called -e nsr. Now what is n stands for? N stands for null. S stands for same. R stands for reverse. Okay. So in my word list, there is a word called root. So what it will do, it will try reverse, it will try same, it will have a blank password also. Okay. Next, if I have admin, it will only try NIMDA. That's the reverse of admin, or same as admin, or a blank of admin. It will only try three varieties. If I use this -e nsr. So let me go show you here. Hydra -l, capital L, because you're using text file. Okay. In this case, it is small u. -e nsr ftp, and the IP address is different here. And copy this, go here, Control Shift V, and enter. Again, there's a problem because users.txt is in the desktop, so don't forget cd capital text. Control Shift V and enter. See, it tried FTP, it tried FTP, reverse of FTP, then it tried FTP null, and it also had MSF admin MS, because that's there in the word list of users.txt. So you can run different commands to get to know the username and password of the FTP. The best thing is for you, I've given it, make sure you change your IP address, change the file name, check whether you're on the root or a desktop, and try running these commands. So far understood? Type YES. Okay. The second type, which is similar to Hydra, which is called as Medusa. Okay, it is little slow compared to Hydra, but both are used for brute forcing. So what is it? Just go to here, clear everything, cd, clear everything, just type Medusa, and you will know all the syntaxes, and you will also know what version you're using. It's an inbuilt tool about it. Okay, now I was telling it, it will compare from one file to another file, and it will be saying, it will be keep saying account check. It will be trying compare account check, account check, account check, account check, account check, and suddenly if it finds correct one, it will say account found. Then again it will go back, go back, go back, account check, account check, account check. So you have to wait till you find account found. Okay, so we did FTP, we will do for SSH port. So how to do it? Same thing, Medusa. Let me just increase the size. Yeah, Medusa -h. H means the IP address. So the IP address in this case is 207, and -u, user's name. So in this case it is u, and it is users, -p, pass.txt, -m means the module. Which module? SSH. Copy it and go here, clear everything. Remember using a file, so get into desktop. Control Shift V, and enter. Observe, we are getting account check, account check, account check. Hopefully you get account fund early. Let's wait. Let me know if I missed out. Here, can you see account form? What is it? User is MSF admin, password is MSF. I got it. So if I go here, type SSH, username is MSF admin at the rate of 192.168.1.207. Type yes. What is your password? MSFADMIN. Got it. Now again, I'm inside the machine through SSH port. If I want to know, just type who am I. There you go. It says MSF admin. Okay. Just type ls. See, they also have a folder by name vulnerable. Here also you can create a folder, right? Then I can also say echo you have been hacked, hack.txt. Now let me go to Metasploitable machine, clear everything, just type ls. There you go. You see hack.txt or through.txt. If I put cat hack.txt, see what does it says? You have been hacked. So what happens? The target will get shot. Okay, I can remove it. RMDIR through RMDIR hack, or I can just put RM. That's also fine. So if I go here, just type ls. Now you see only hack.txt and vulnerable. So through the SSH, also you are able to crack using Medusa tool. Okay, and this will keep on doing it. Just put Control Z. They are done. So you could only find one password about it. So that is called Medusa. Okay, is this clear? That's what yesterday we did the same thing, but I think there was a problem with the voice. Guys, is this clear so far till what we have done yesterday? Okay. If you want more word list, ready-made word list, which is called weakpass.com. You can go there, see online brute. It's got some 456 bytes of, you can download it. 10 million password, list of top 10,000 .text or 10 million password. So you can use this and also run it in your Kali Linux and also see, it may take 1 day, 2 days to crack it, but you have 10 million password list. So this is something which you can do, something called weakpass.com. Apart from that, Kali Linux also has a ready-made word list. That ready-made word list is called as rockyou.txt. So I'll show you that. Clear everything, CD. So I don't know where it is. Just type locate word list, enter. There's so many word list. Okay. But RockU is something which is very popular. It's called as locate RockU. There we got many, but what is most important thing is this word list, which is called as rocku.txt.gs. So I need to go to this folder, user, share, word list, Rockyou.ts. So I just copy this, CD, Control Shift V, enter. Okay. So there is no such file. Okay, at least copy till here. CD, Control Shift V, enter. So now I am inside user, share, word list. Now just type ls. I have a file called rockyou.txt. So cat rockyou.text. Enter. See my friends, so many word list. Huge word list. It goes on. Okay, if you really want to know how many words are there, Control Z, clear everything. Just type WC minus L and rockyou.text. These many are there. That means 1 crore 43 lakhs 44,392 word list, and you can try it out. But if you say, sir, 1 lakh 43, 1 crore 43 lakhs, am I mad to keep running that? Then don't worry, there is something called filter. Okay, here, filter on rockyou.text. Use the word grep. Now in that 1 crore, I just want to pick up any words which has the word admin. So grep, admin, and rockyou.text. So any word which has admin in the text file of Rockyou, it will pick up and show you. See? Maybe I'm trying to hack Cisco company. Maybe I'll check if they have some word called Cisco in rockyou.text. There you go, Cisco, 123 Cisco, right? So that is also possible. So this way you start getting word list and start using tools to build up your word list. Finally, the last one is Mentalist. It's a graphical tool for custom word list generation. It utilizes common human paradigms for constructing password and can be a full word list. Where you can see this Mentalist, you have to go to GitHub. So go to Google. It is a little slow. Okay, anyway, I will show you in the screenshot. Go to Google and type Mentalist GitHub. You will get this Scott-free Mentalist. Click on Wiki, and under the Wiki you have something called install it from the source. Then instructions will come. Git clone, copy this, put it in your Kali Linux, cd Mentalist, Python 3 setup.py, install. That's all you have to do. Okay. Just try. Okay. Just type Mentalist GitHub Scott free. This is the one. Okay, there you go. Wiki, click on Wiki, scroll down, install it from the source, scroll down, you have this. Copy this, right click, copy, go to your Kali Linux, clear everything, git clone, right? So Control Shift V, but careful where you are installing this. come out of this CD here, Control Shift V, enter. Okay, it's empty direct means I already have it. Okay, so if I just type ls, I'll remove it. Now I will do Control Shift V, enter. So it will do the cloning. Then CD, mentalist, ls, you have it. Now what is the next one? Python 3 setup pi.install. Copy this. Control Shift V, enter. It's finished. Just type mentalist, enter. So graphical interface, what you can do is there is something called plus over here. Click on plus, click on case, lowercase, uppercase, lowercase all. Again, click on plus, then go for uppercase. I think yesterday Abhishek was, I will show that Sherlock, but please focus on this. I think yesterday you were talking lowercase, uppercase, and then I will go for before the names. I want all the words which has English dictionary, and append means after the words I want all the special characters. Click on OK. So this is all graphical representation, and then you have an action. See, base word. Apart from you want names, so I want all the pet related names. It's there. Then if I want any other slang, month and season also, why not? Right. So this is how I will build it. Click on load and process it. So what happens? It would TB terabyte of data I get on the word list based on what I have selected. So that way it's easy based on the special characters, upper limit, lower characters. You can build up a word list and you can build it. Okay. How did I come to this? I told you those instructions. After that, just type mentalist and enter. The box will open up. And go here, click it and find out what word list you want. The second way of a lower character you can do is something called crunch. When I put cd dot crunch, say for example, Drew, small letters, now big letters. Okay, and some special characters, numbers. Okay, but how many other 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 are there. Maybe 9 will be the minimum. Enter. Okay, see how much it will give me. So much. I'll just do Control Z. If you observe, capital R, capital D, numbers. So even crunch also you can do, or you can also get mentalist. Also you can. This way, my friends, you're exposed to many password cracking methods. And I just want to ask if any doubts before we proceed with the next topic. Sherlock, yes, I will do that probably after the class. Maybe one of the time of the day, I will just ping you. I'll connect to your system and probably see if Sherlock, what installation issues are there. Is this clear? Password cracking. Can we go ahead with the next topic? Okay, can we just take a 5 minutes break? 12:40 will come back. If all of you are here, Okay. Have you heard the word spoofing? This is a very interesting one and very, very important for the hackers. So what exactly is this spoofing all about? Let's go through it. Understand? Please have a book and a pen just to note down few important things. Spoofing is when cyber criminals disguises themselves as another person or entity in order to commit some kind of malicious acts. Cyber criminals use range of tactics to spoof their identity. Can range from less technical, like spoofing email address, website, phone numbers, or it can even go up to advanced spoofing techniques like spoofing IP address, ARPs, etc. Regardless of the tactic, spoofing is to steal and damage the victim. Using certain techniques, cyber criminals use spoofed email address, website, phone numbers to trick victims in providing some confidential information, make them to download attachment, or make them to click that will install some malware in the system. The success of spoofing attack generally depends on its ability to exploit the trusted relationship between the target and some other person or an organization. Important is what exactly is a thing. An attacker may be able to steal sensitive personal or company information, or maybe username and password, spread some virus, gain into somebody's computer, or taking advantage of some relationship, bypass the access control. Okay, so they can do by spoofing their identity. But what does that mean to the business terms? The effect of a successful spoofing in business term can include ransomware, in which attacker promises to restore the service in exchange of some type of payment. It causes the business website to spread malware to other systems. Okay, so what is the real impact that can happen? So if you look at the screen, the real impact could be these are the things if you are doing it. One is called financial loss, intellectual property loss, reputation damage, or even investor confidence. What do you mean by financial loss? A financial loss means, or it could be even intellectual property loss, like trade secrets, formulas, new developments, all can be compromised. Reputation damage means, simple example I'll tell you in reputation damage. Coca-Cola alone was worth 60% of the product itself. Cristiano Ronaldo, you saw that at one event that happened in the press conference where it's just a small move. He just kept the bottle outside the screen in front of, and that alone costed around 4 billion United USD. Yes, Vijay, VPN will come under spoofing. Then it could also have investor confidence. Following compromise of Facebook user data in 2018, Facebook total value dropped almost $36 billion, and the company is still in recovery stage. And the last one is, it could be even business disruption. Because of there is no continuity, there is a damage to the system, there are chances that the business may not be completely off. These are the things what can happen if you're not handling it properly. Okay, these are the different types of spoofing attack can happen: caller ID, website, email, IP spoofing, text message, ARP. So we'll see one or two. Maybe we'll try learning email spoofing and IP address spoofing and understand how in real time the hackers will hide their identity. The first one is the caller ID spoofing. I think we all have received these phone calls from everyone. Nothing new to you people, right? Caller ID spoofing. Almost every day you will get. It's a very common tactic that uses phone number appears to come somewhere from your area code. We are more likely to answer the call when it looks like it's a local number. The cyber criminal may pretend to be a police officer because the idea is very much similar like that. The victim is convinced to pay fine, then which doesn't exist at all, to provide confidential information, etc., all under the threat of being arrested. The spoofer may use phone number that shares the first few digits as a number familiar to the target. Another option is to use number from victim's area, known more specifically called as neighboring spoofing. These techniques rely on victims not noticing any of those ID. They pick up, they provide personal information or even transfer some money. Okay, and most of these hackers know they use VoIP, Voice over Internet Protocol, which will allow these hackers to create a phone number and caller ID name of their own choice. So that is possible. ID spoofing. I'm sure you would have seen some of the SMS spoofing also. For example, called scam text. You would have observed this. I have your package or your 101 has been delivered. You would have received a message like this. Welcome to Nokia.com online shopping private limited. A lot of companies will have this. Okay. Read this. Text scams are the text message designed to trick you into giving money or some personal information that can be used. Scam types will vary, but the more popular text scams attempt to rope you in for the offers too good to be true, such as free prices, money from a well-known retailer, attempt you to take some action by pretending to be family or a friend in need, or use some fake information about transaction or account like package delivery. So many things can come into picture when it comes to them. Now, any wrong with this message? Can you tell me? Is anything wrong with this message? Do you feel there is something wrong in this, or can you trust this message? Excellent. That is what I was waiting for. Nokia. Okay, but maybe people, elderly people, they may not realize it. Because we're learning hacking, we are closely observing things. Otherwise, we may not know. If you observe this, breaking news. Amazon selling Samsung J9 rupees. Can you even imagine Amazon selling at 499 rupees? And because of golden anniversary. Now, what is golden anniversary? 50 years? 75 years? I don't know if Amazon was there for such a long time or 25 years, and why would it pay 499 rupees, right? So something fishy about it. So the message could be false, right? And could be one of it. Chris, you received a new photo, click on it. So when you're gonna make sure you don't click on it, but it looks very genuine. You have received a new photo, click on it. But what is not genuine is you should clear what is not genuine in this. Can anyone tell me? What is not something wrong in this message? Can anyone tell me? Numbers is usually a 10 digit. Maybe it is more than 10 digit. There you go. Register for COVID vaccine age 19. See, whenever you get tiny.cc, be careful. That's a fake URL. Like that. There are so many. Okay. And see, the minute you click on the link, they got a message, allow COVID-19 to access your contact. Never, never click on allow. It could be congratulations, you have $1,000 thing. Now, this is also very, very careful about it. Okay, there's nothing but a website SMS spoofing. Then you also have a website spoofing. So I'll show you some of the example of website spoofing. It uses a fake website that look legitimate. A spoof website looks exactly like a real website. The logo, branding, color, layout, domain name, contact details are all without very close inspection of the domain or looking for small flaws in the text. It is very difficult to identify a spoof website. Cyber criminals use spoof website for a range of reasons, including collecting login details, steal credit card information, install malware, or often the victims receive spoofed email first website. Okay, so that is, you should be careful. They'll send you a spoofed email. You click on it, it takes you to a spoof website. That is also possible. Okay, if you observe this thoughtfully, it looks exactly the same thing as Amazon user ID and password, but you see on the top AMAZONN. Many people will actually see it so closely. They think it is Amazon.com. You go here. Now tell me which one is correct. Left one is genuine or right one is. Anybody? Okay, it is very difficult, right? It looks almost same. What is a is the URL? See, www.e.com and smartsheet.com. So obviously the right one looks a little bit more genuine than, so sometimes URL you have to check. Even this Facebook looks very much same. See what it is, facebook.ok.com. So all the fake URL is been created over here, okay, or fake URL.com. Okay. Now tell me at least this, which one is genuine, left side or right side? Why so? That is one thing. Look at the website, IDBI, but here BDI. It's a fake website link, but it is too easy to get, tricked by eyes. It is IDBI, but here see IBD instead of DB. That could also be one of it. So make try a password manager or a no lock symbol. These are the chances that website spoofing. Next, you have email spoofing. Okay. The thing is, in email spoofing, most widely used, friends, it happens when cyber criminals use fake email address to commit cybercrime. Depending on the email spoofing tactic, the criminal of the email address or email sender name or both. Additionally, criminals can assume multiple identities that of a sender, the company, or both. Email spoofing comes with a word which is basically another word as falsified. An email has been spoofed when the sender deliberately alters the parts of email to make the message appear as though it is coming from a legitimate sender. Usually, a spoofed email will contain personal information such as sender's name, email address, body of the message, formatted to appear as if they are from legitimate source. A spoofed message can appear to be sent from a coworker, bank, family member, or any number of seeming trustworthy sources. A good spoof is quite convincing and will look like any other email that would normally receive. This is why email phishing remains one of the leading cause of business email compromises along with other attacks. So emails are most done in the world. So some of the statistics, if you want to see, look at it. 96% of all phishing attacks are carried out by via email spoofing. Okay, and if you observe, see this is an American press, but it is coming from whom? Pentagon Secret out. So you should carefully check whether it is same or not. Okay, again coming from foxmail.com, but the Yongning Industrial, China. Okay, so something wrong with this email. Sometime you get a fake sender domain, suspicious subject, grammar. Okay, so those are the signs of a fake email. One more example. See, Office 365 Protection Services.co.uk, some fake domain. And they also have a threat in the email, means to help prevent account malfunction, please log into your account portal to verify your account, means the threat, somebody is threatening. And futures, spelling mistake and grammatical error, fake email signature. All these things you should observe when you have to be careful when you receive an email from anybody. Okay. The final one is IP spoofing. This is what we need. This is what to three types of IP spoofing. One is called private network, proxy chaining, and server. Okay. So what is proxy chaining? So we'll go for the first one, which is called as proxy chaining. What is proxy chaining? It involves connecting two or more proxies together with one proxy forwarding the traffic to the another one. Okay, one of the most popular type of proxy chaining is Tor, which is called as the onion router. Okay, now what is this the onion router? Very, very popular and most commonly used. Friends, the onion router, short form, is Tor, was initially a worldwide network of servers developed by US Navy, okay, that enabled people to browse internet anonymously. So they will not know who it is browsing the internet, just like your incognito mode. Same thing here, Tor also works it. Okay, how does a Tor work? So I'll show you a symbol. Okay, so this is a simple example I will show you. How does it work? Just see the screen. When you visit a website using a normal browser, means Firefox, Chrome, your computer makes direct connection with the server. Anyone trying to monitor internet, they can actually track who is asking facebook.com or google.com from which server. They will be able to get this information. But when you're trying to visit somebody's website using a Tor browser, your computer never interacts with web server directly. Okay, instead the Tor browser constructs a twisty path through a random of set of 3 Tor nodes and sends your data via this circuit. As you see in the figure, there are 3 nodes, node 1, node 2, node 3. Entry guard is called Tor guard 1. Next it is called middle relay. Next you got as exit relay, and then it goes to the destination. How does it work? The core principle of Tor onion. Okay, I'll show you. I'll explain you how it works. Browser first sends the data to the first guard node in the circuit. The guard node will send your data on to the second one, which is a middle relay, and the middle relay will send the complete data to the third one, and finally the exit node will send to the data to the website server. The server sends its response back to the exit and the entry node. Okay, the core principle of Tor is onion routing, means which is a technique for anonymous and secure communication over a public network. The original host remains anonymous because each node in the network is only aware of the preceding the following node in the path, except the first node, that he knows who the sender is but doesn't know who the final destination is. So that is how a Tor will work. Okay, so if you look at the diagram, it's like an onion, my friends. Tor client know who is the sender, then it will then go to middle array. The middle array will know only it has to send it to exit relay. Exit relay will only know whom to send the destination. So each 3 of these may not be interconnected at all. Reverse also same way. So this is how the onion router works, or called proxy chaining. That's why it's called chain. Link to this, link to this, link to this, and link to this. So that is what is called as Tor. Now I will show you how to have your own IP address block. Let's try. We'll go to root to. I will cancel everything. That's it. Clear everything. So far, any doubts? Hope you got the idea of the concept of SMS spoofing, email spoofing, website spoofing, caller ID spoofing, SMS spoofing. Now what we are saying is IP spoofing. First, what I will do is I will go to internet in my Kali Linux. There's something called web browser. So click on web browser. Type over here google.com. Enter. Type over here browser. Enter. There are many companies which give you Tor browsers. I'm going for the first one, download dash Tor project. You can apply for Windows, Mac, Linux, any other operating system also. We're trying to do it for Linux. See, you can go for Windows, Mac, Linux, or Android. So first I'm going for Linux. Click on download for Linux. A box will open up. You just have to save the file in the download section. Yeah, click on save file, click on OK. And see this arrow mark, it gets downloaded over here. You need to wait until it completes fully. Next, you have to go to your Kali line. Since this is downloaded in the download session, CD, enter. Now just type ls. You already have, okay, just a minute. I already have it. I'll just delete it so that there won't be any problem. So ls, all right. I have this ready here, which is in zip file. Okay, it is in zip file. So don't worry, I have given you the commands over here. Now this you can do it for non-root user, means Kali at the rate of Kali also you can use, but we are using for root user. Okay, if you have logged in as root user, small configuration you have to change, that's okay. First, what you have to do is unzip it. What is the command? tar -xvf. Okay. Yeah. So friends, this -xz means it's a zip file. So what should I do? tar xvf space type tor. You don't have to type dash browser dash linux 64 dash 10.5.5 donate. Just click on tab. Automatically picks up. Click on enter. So it is all unzipping the file. tar space -xvf. So it's opening up. It is done. Next, what you have to do, clear everything. Now just type the folder is opened. Now, so cd tor, again click on tab, opens up inside this. Now again type ls. Now you need to get into the inside the browser, cd capital B. So don't forget tab. And now type ls. You have so many things, so don't get confused. But with respect to root user, there is small configuration you have to do. Okay, once you unzip it, type ls. You will see the folder name. Get into the folder name, cd dash, right? Then again type ls. You will see browser. Get into the browser. Again type ls. This. Here, what is the problem is, I'll tell you what is the problem. This is the problem. Start Tor browser. There's a problem in this because by default in the Tor, the root user is inactive. That is what it ramped as. Only you have to use it for regular user. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make that program null. How do I do it? I'll show you. So this is the one. Start browser. Okay, so what you have to do is just type mousepad and start Tor browser. Enter. This will open up. Search for ID. This one. Scroll down. ID minus U EQ equal to 0. Okay. The browser bundle should not be run as root. That's what the programming is. What I will do is I will convert this programming into a comment. I'll just put hashtag. Next line also hashtag. Next line also hashtag. Next till F5. That's all. This completely converted into comment. So now this no more is a programming. Okay, and for you not to get confused, I have also put here. This is the issue. If ID minus U minus EQ is 0. So what I did, I've shown you in the next screenshot. Just put hashtag 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so it will not get confused. Once you do it, file, save it, close it. Only a small configuration you have to do. The last command is dot slash and that one. So we'll go here, dot slash start dot tor dot browser and enter. That is all. And it's only one time you have to do because you're doing it for the first time. Now a Tor will open up. Go to Tor network setting. After you go here, changes to Tor setting will not affect until you connect to Tor network. Okay, connect. Connected. So if I go and type Google, out. Now I'm able to use Google. It's a private browsing, and tomorrow I'll be able to also open up Facebook. Now, any kind of activity, if they try to track back and understand who has done it, obviously they'll find out it is from my IP address. But what have I done? I have spoofed my IP address. I have done something called proxy. So please see now, where is my IP address from? Means where am I sitting and accessing this internet from? Can anyone tell me where I'm accessing this google.com? Everybody will say India, Bangalore, all that. But no, just take your cursor, put it onto this lock icon, click it. There you go, my friends. My IP address has gone to Germany, Germany to Netherlands, then again to some other city in Germany, and I'm accessing Google. So tomorrow someone tries to find out who is that person who has entered into my website, they will think it is someone from Germany and so on, so IP address. But actually I'm sitting in Bangalore, but here I'm showing you that as though I'm sitting in Germany. Wow, interesting, right? Even if I go for Facebook, click on this, this is taking me to Germany, Netherlands. So 3 nodes. Okay, entry node, middle relay, and exit node. It looks like I am in from here, Netherlands. Is this clear? This is called IP spoofing, my friends. You want me to repeat? Did you understand anything you missed out? Even if I type, what is my IP address? See, what is my IP address? It tells me my IP address is 195.176.3.23. But where am I? I am in Kansas, it says, United States. It tells me that I'm from United States. So impossible. Every website when I open and look, it gives me 3 different nodes. No way they will know it is coming from my own city, my own state. That is as proxy chaining or IP spoofing. Vijay Dhruv, any doubt you want me to repeat? You want to learn everything, huh? It's like you want idli, vada, dosa, chutney, puri, everything for 5 rupees, 10 rupees. Okay, I will show you emails in the next class. Caller ID spoofing also can be done, but the problem is you need to pay for it. So there are many apps which I will show you, but the thing is you need to pay. But there are some message spoofing and email spoofing I'll show you in the coming class, which I will show you how to do it. Okay, I think we'll stop it here. Try this until here. The next class I'll show you about surface web, deep web, dark web. I'll explain you about VPN, and also I'll show you email spoofing and a message spoofing. And then by tomorrow we should be able to complete the spoofing topic. Any doubts so far? Try doing it today, spoofing. Okay, small configuration you have to change, that's all. Okay, so if you're not able to get that configuration, you can try doing it in Kali user. So just go here, just type mousepad, put this, and you should be able to just put a hashtag, save it, and then file ./start Tor browser. Then you will be able to get these things. Okay, so send me a screenshot of which location is your IP address coming up. So just for that interest. So in that way you will have learned today how to do a IP spoofing. Okay, so try finishing off the password cracking, check the mentalist, and try doing this IP spoofing. Tomorrow we'll continue the remaining topics. Okay, so fine. Have a nice day. I'll see you tomorrow.